Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is 7:30 in Orlando, Florida, and we are getting ready for some more United States Youth Soccer National Championship here today in Kissimmee, Florida. 76 degrees, high of 90. Some rain expected, but that should come later on in the evening after all the games have been played today. At least we'll hope. We had a lot of rain delays yesterday. First matchup of the evening, or the morning, I should say, has us in a matchup of 18 and 19 under boys. It's Chicago Fire versus Kansas City Legends, and we are off. This is Field 19 at ESPN's Wide World of Sports. Chicago Fire wearing their white kits, and Kansas City with the tan on black. We had a great opening day for the national championships yesterday. Again, a huge shout out to ESPN's Wide World of Sports, 220 acres, featuring a bunch of different facilities, including that stadium you see in the top right corner of your screen. It's a 9,500 seat baseball stadium. A lot of capabilities here, including hosting all these teams for these national championships. Again, this is Field 19. And yes, Field 1 through 18 are all in use. So just an idea of how extensive this event is, the logistics that it takes to cover an event like this, and it's gone off without a hitch so far. The Chicago Fire looking to create the first opportunity, but that one's knocked out of play. It'll be a throw-in. Throw-in is there. Using the body to shield. Defense is swarming. There's a shot available. It's taken, but it's wide left of the net. Weather is not expected to be a huge factor for this game. The highest it should go is 80. As we get to our other teams that are playing at the 9:30, 11:30, and 1:30 hours, things will get a lot more interesting on that front because, as we saw yesterday, the temperature rapidly changes from morning to afternoon and into evening in this area. And it definitely had a effect on the stamina of the players in those time windows. Chicago is definitely controlling possession so far. And the offside flag goes up. Kansas City finally getting into the attacking third of Chicago, but it was very short-lived. But it is a start. That is a beautiful pass, but nice job by the Kansas City defenders to cut off the momentum as they continue to build that wall in front of Chicago. Looking to get a crosser in, the footwork, but it goes out of play. It looked like Chicago had something there, but Kansas City recovered pretty quickly. Crosser was attempted, but came a little bit weak off the foot. Kansas City not trying to allow them out of their half of the midfield. But Chicago willing to play this chess match with them. Taking things slowly, looking for the opening. Leslie looking for a long pass that makes sense, just like that one did. Now here they go. And there's one of those passes they were looking for. Physical play to take possession and keep possession for Chicago. And a pass that leads to a foul on Chicago. That'll lead to a free kick. And what looks like a warning. And so he'll get a talking to here. No card, though, fortunately for him. But it's one of those conversations of, hey, if that happens again, I'm going to have no choice. Chicago now with it in a dangerous spot, but cut off. Brilliant play there. And that one sent a long way, and oh, man. So with that being sent out of play, normally it wouldn't be a huge deal. However, with the amount of games that we have, there are no ball boys. And so anytime something is sent out of play like that, somebody from the field is going to have to go and retrieve it, which is obviously going to take some extra time to do. It looks like they just got it back. But when he did that, that had me wincing a little bit, as that looked like it was going to threaten a lot more than it did. But it had me wincing a little bit because I'm like, oh, who's going to go get that ball? Fight for the balls, won by Kansas City Legends. Now we look to come back the other way. The goalie comes out of the net. They're going to have to get this one out of here. Very dangerous situation for Chicago Fire. Very dangerous. A collision leading to a foul call on Chicago Fire. That'll be a free kick for Kansas City. You can see the field is a little bit wet. That happens every single morning, rain or shine, in the state of Florida. The dew that gathers in the grass, it is a constant here in Orlando. It won't exactly lead to rain-like conditions, but it will make the ball move slicker as it would if it was raining. As we know, raining conditions favor strikers. Always puts defenders at a disadvantage, because it forces them to be even more reactionary than they already normally would be. So far for these two squads, not playing a huge factor though. They're holding their own. We did have a couple of goals conceded yesterday after the rain delay that were directly affected by the rainfall that we had just had. We had one that slipped right out of the goalkeeper's hands and went into the back of the net. And we had a couple of more where it was just bad footing for the defensive back line. And there was really nothing that they could do. So just something to keep an eye on this morning as the field dries up going forward in the day. But these conditions at the start of the day here, it's 7:30 in the morning. Goalkeeper has to get rid of that one, and does. It's still in a dangerous spot. Chicago applying a lot of pressure, trying to catch them in a bad situation, but Kansas City keeps their composure and gets the ball over to the other half of the midline. Oh, Chicago now with the ball and a good opportunity to get a cross in. It's blocked away, though. Again, Kansas City's defense has been very good. Really not allowing anything when it comes to one-on-one play. Their defenders have been stout in that area. A long shot. That goes way. Oh, wow. That was impressive, folks. Did you see that? Did you see what the ball hit? The ball hit the light pole. I mean, obviously he didn't mean to do that, but I mean, he could pretend that he meant to do that. And I do think some scouts will be impressed. It's not the biggest light pole, so for him to hit that square on the nose like that was something to see. That one goes out of play yet again. That's not a short run for anybody involved, so we're definitely going to see some long walks. as long as the ball keeps going all the way over there. In the meantime, I want to thank one of our sponsors, New York Life. As the presenting sponsor of the U.S. Youth Soccer National Championships, New York Life is proud to support the families behind every athlete in planning for their financial future. Through the New York Life Financial Empowerment Scholarship, high school juniors and seniors can earn a chance to be awarded up to $20,000 in scholarships. Visit NewYorkLife.com today to learn more, including how to apply. New York Life, more powerful together. That one's fired towards the net, headed out. Still juggling around the penalty box. And the shot's taken but blocked. And the question becomes, who's going to find that first opening? Who's going to be able to get the ball past one of those back lines first? Because nobody's having any luck. Nobody's been able to put together a dribble combination that has any of these back lines fooled. They're getting their bodies in the way, and then they're being forced to take shots like that. They're flying over the net. Foul called on KC. Pass gets through, but he's offside. That pass had to come just a couple of seconds earlier. He had the positioning, but there was hesitancy, and that led to the offside flag going up. That likely would have been their best chance that they've had today. He did have the step. See, they have another chance here. An offside flag goes up once again. So things becoming more of a timing issue than anything else. Oh, wow, what a great defensive play that was. They couldn't keep possession. Now working it, blocked by the goalie, and sent out. Now, a lot of this game has been played down at the far end, away from us. So our official has a conversation, once again, with another player. He's handing out warnings and conversations before any flags, or cards, rather, are given out. Long pass into the box, headed out. Now Kansas City really starting to dominate the time of possession. Earlier in the match, it was Chicago with most of the control. Now Kansas City doing a great job keeping the ball on this side of the field. Free kick incoming. Seen very physical play so far. Nothing heinous, just physical. Definitely to be expected from this age group. Fired into the box and headed out. Chicago now going to look to build a counter attack. Unable to do so, though, as Kansas City once again keeping possession. Whipped into the box and corralled by the goalie. Great hands on display there. Kansas City, once again, stingy. Not too keen on allowing possession for Chicago Fire. Speaking of fire, oh my! That was absolutely shot out of a rocket, hit off the crossbar and the post, past the diving, outreaching hands of the goaltender. And that's one of those shots that you'll take is one of those messages to the defense. Hey, we're not just gonna keep trying to dribble it into the box. Like, you gotta defend us from everywhere, even out here. But here comes Chicago Fire with that counterattack. Can it be successful? No. Kansas City stifling defensive back line yet again. Chicago yet to really create a meaningful shot on goal. And some miscommunication there leads to a turnover. Now it'll be a goal kick, and everybody will have to back it up. Chicago did get fouled. They tried to play the advantage, but official stops the action. Says, no, we're going to free kick it from right here. Still a pretty good situation, a pretty good spot to have a free kick in. And you have options. You know, you can take a shot at the net here. You can pass it off to your left and try to get a crosser in. There is a risk, though, if you do pass it off to the left. You do have a defender right there that could easily cut that pass off, so there would have to be some power behind it. So most likely scenario is taking a shot towards the net. Just like that. And Chicago Fire can't cash in. That was an awesome chance that they had there. And another free kick opportunity created. They'll play the advantage or try to once again, and the official once again will not allow it to happen. We'll see if Chicago can recreate what they just created, because that was an extremely dangerous opportunity. And the pass is too strong. They're trying to set up a cross there. The pass is just way too strong. Missed opportunity. They're certainly, obviously not going to be happy with that one, but that one may sting. Yet two good opportunities with Kansas City in a bad spot they haven't really allowed themselves to be in all half. We're about half an hour in. That also goes back to what I was alluding to earlier when it comes to the condition of the field and the dampness of it and how the ball is gliding. You know, neither one of these teams are from the state of Florida. The humidity is just different here. The way it affects the field is different here than what they're used to. And we actually have a yellow card now. So it took over half an hour for us to get to that first yellow card, despite all the physical play that we've seen so far. But we do have our first yellow card given out. So the warnings may be few and far in between at this point. Message has been delivered, message received by both the teams. And substitutions incoming for Kansas City. Kick comes in to the box. Knocked out, but another shot opportunity. That one's on the ground. And to be honest with you, that's not a bad place for it. Force the goaltender to find it amongst all those bodies. Now foul called on Chicago. Here comes Chicago again. Penetrating the box. Are they going to call a foul in the penalty box? Yes. Yes, a bad play by Kansas City. A very bad play. Costly. Really the first bad mistake that they've made in this area today, and it's the worst kind of mistake that you can make. And so here we go with a penalty kick for Chicago. A chance to go up 1-0. And it's there. Chicago 1-0 over Kansas City as the penalty kick gives Chicago their first goal here today. Again, just one of those situations where you play such a solid game as a defensive back line, you make one bad mistake like that and it costs you a goal. And now Kansas City is the one that's going to have to play catch up. And you have to think back to that goal that was missed earlier that went off the crossbar. That's why every miss like that really does hurt. You know, you like to say, okay, hey, we'll just create another one. But in a game like this, you know, cashing in on those opportunities is so important. And again, it was a difficult shot. It's not like it was the easiest shot in the world. I wouldn't call it a necessarily a missed opportunity, but the shot, you know, just you got unlucky with it. It hit the crossbar. It was a brave shot to take in the first place, but because you missed it, it's 1-0 Chicago's way instead of being tied at 1. Now you're fighting for that goal so that you can feel better about your situation here in this game. Crosser in. And that one, the timing was just a little bit off. And that's one I would call a missed opportunity. Because the goalie was completely out of position. And here comes Chicago on the counter strike. But Kansas City doing a good job holding their own. Chicago keeping the ball down here at this end. So they can set up their defense for this throw in. But definitely a missed opportunity there. The long shot was, that was a tough shot to begin with. That was low percentage of going in the first place. The fact that it hit the crossbar is impressive in Chicago. Chicago kind of making me eat my words right there, because that was a shot from a similar distance that Kansas City attempted earlier, but they put it in the back of the net. And now all the momentum seems to be with Chicago's side. So once again, another missed shot from Kansas City, followed up by a goal from Chicago Fire. And again, instead of looking at a potential 2-2 game or even maybe a 2-1 game in Kansas City's favor, it's now 2-0. Kansas City reeling now towards the end of this first half. It's not like Kansas City has failed to create any opportunities. They really just need, in this game, you need skill and you need a little bit of luck too. That's in all sports. Sometimes you can get unlucky. This is one of those situations with Kansas City where they've done a good enough job creating shots where they should probably at least have one goal on the board already, but they're looking at 0 right now. But that could change in an instant. We saw a couple of games yesterday. Teams hop out to early leads and lose them quickly, as that one goes in the back of the net. So just as I was saying it just takes a little bit of skill and a little bit of luck at the same time. And now all of a sudden, the entire dynamic of this game has changed. What was a 2-0 game with Chicago having all the momentum is now a 2-1 game, and Kansas City is looking right back in it once again. So there we go. Again, Kansas City creating opportunities for themselves. They just have to cash the opportunities in. But now both the teams starting to break down these defensive back lines, find openings, find ways to attack the net, attack these goalkeepers, willing to take shots from longer out rather than trying to penetrate too far into the penalty box, as that's not been a strategy that's been working this entire time. And now Chicago Fire with another chance, and that one is saved away by a great hustle play. Chicago looking to extend this lead. Kansas City would love to tie this up before the end of the first half. Only a few minutes left to go. We'll see what they have time to do. And that'll be it for the first half. So a back and forth first half. Chicago was on their heels early, as Kansas City was putting all the pressure on their defense. But then Chicago drawing a penalty and getting themselves a penalty kick, which they cashed in for a 1-0 lead. And then taking a long shot from way out to make it 2-0. Kansas City missed a couple of them, including a long shot of their own and including a crossing shot that definitely would have gone in for a goal. But then coming back, taking a long shot, and getting a goal on the board before the end of the first half. It's 2-1 Chicago Fire's way. And let's thank a few of our sponsors. New Balance. Crafted for speed, tested and worn by Bukayo Saka, the New Balance Furon V8 refines the ultra lightweight precision strike focused design for an even greater sense of speed. A new speed control stud is designed to support control during sudden stops, sharp pivots, and moves used by the fastest players on the pitch like Saka himself. Experience engineered minimalism, crafted to support explosive movement and the sharpest of touches. Learn more and purchase the Furon at newbalance.com/soccer. When it comes to fueling on and off the field, Treetop is your game day go-to. Treetop applesauce pouches and juice boxes are free of high fructose corn syrup and are packed with delicious fruit goodness, and that's a guaranteed W for kids and for parents. Treetop is a proud sponsoring partner of U.S. Youth Soccer. As the official recruiting partner of U.S. Youth Soccer, NCSA College Recruiting is dedicated to reducing the stress that comes with the college recruiting process and helps student athletes find the right college fit. Make sure to visit www.ncsasports.org to schedule your recruiting assessment with an expert, update your recruiting profile, and talk through your next steps in becoming searchable by college coaches nationwide. Victory Gears, the official insole partner of USYS. Victory insoles are engineered to help return energy with each step, giving soccer players a springier feel, more support, and more confidence when running and jumping. Learn more at vktry.com/USYS. Better coaches, better officials, better experiences. The USYS University gives your team the tools to thrive and the edge to win. Enroll for free at usysusuniversity.org. Taka, the leading youth soccer analysis platform, is offering hassle-free highlights to every 14U to 19U player at the 2025 U.S. Youth Soccer National Championships. All the best nationals plays, clipped for you, just for $59. Search taka.io online for more. Struggling to find someone to film the game? No problem. VEO is the ultimate soccer camera that records every match, every goal, all of your moments, automatically. Perfect for youth soccer teams, players, and proud parents. See the magic at www.veo.co. Anthony Travel, an online location company, is proud to serve as the official travel partner for U.S. Youth Soccer. From your flight to your hotel to your rental car, our sports travel experts have you covered. Visit anthonytravel.com to learn more. And finally, Grilla, the official hydration partner of U.S. Youth Soccer. Grilla products provide the hydration you need no matter what stage of activity you're at. Whether it's pre-exercise, a much-needed energy boost during a game, or post-exercise recovery, learn more at drinkgrilla. That's GRILLA.com. the end of the second half. So Kansas City will have to play a little bit of catch up, but they definitely grabbed a lot of momentum with that goal right before halftime. And I mean, they've been pushing for it the entire first half. But this is why numbers can be so misleading. You could have time of possession advantage, shots on goals advantage, and it still doesn't matter. Now, more often than not, when you're leading in those areas, you're going to win. That's why coaches look at those statistics and say, like, hey, how can we improve in these areas? But at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is how many goals are scored. And despite what mostly felt like a dominating first half by Kansas City, they trailed 2-1. Oh, beautiful pass. Numbers for Kansas City, not really. Good defensive play, because if that wasn't made, Kansas City would have had an opportunity for a shot there. But now all of a sudden, here comes Chicago, and they've actually got numbers. They've got a man streaking. Can he get a shot off? Couldn't get the angle. Looking for the pass, couldn't get the angle. Defensive tenacity, that is the name of the game for the Kansas City Legends. And Chicago yet again, will they take another long shot? It's a give and go. The give and go is out of bounds. That crosser was into the box, but there was a lot of tan jerseys there. Now looking to bring it the other way. On the counterattack. No numbers, though. He's going to have to do it himself. Finds the angle, potentially finds the pass, but that shot doesn't go anywhere. It kind of turns into another pass of its own. So Kansas City maintains possession. Now a 1-on-2 situation here. And Chicago wins that. Chicago in another spot. No foul called there. No foul called. He was in the penalty box, but no foul called. That was a clean play according to the official. So could have been another penalty kick. And those plays always are so dangerous when you're in the penalty box and you're trying to play as a defender. But here comes Kansas City on the counter strike. Can they get their shot off? Kansas City ties the game. So here we go, back to square one. It's 0-0 all over again. And what a change of events. And now you look at Kansas City and how they've controlled the pace of play and controlled the time of possession, and you say, okay, things are starting to pay off a bit for them. Kansas City trying to keep up the momentum. You know, they'd love to go ahead and take this lead now. So we have a player for Chicago fired down. He's back up and walking it off. That's good to see. Now Chicago with a chance. Goaltender comes out. Solid play there defensively to force a throw in. I don't think Kansas City minds that as long as they can keep possession. Chicago did a great job sending multiple defenders to the ball there to take possession back for themselves, though. Free kick on the way for Chicago. That one goes right out of play, so not sure who that was intended for. Looks like that's out on Chicago. So goal kick incoming. Kansas City creating another dangerous opportunity, goes off the side of the net. Looked like the goalie got a piece of that one. And so it'll be a corner kick. Chicago able to deal with that one. Kansas City now. Oh my goodness, this is bad. This is bad. This is dangerous. And the recovery effort for the ages by Chicago Fire. That'll lead to another corner kick. That was a very dangerous situation. Sent in yet again, punched out by the goaltender, still battling around in the box. And sent way over the net. So Chicago survives that wave. We have some substitutions. That's what the stoppage is for. Looks like that went out for a Kansas City throw-in. Last one of those in this same spot. Chicago handled really well. Now be another throw-in for Kansas City. Or it looks like they're calling this Chicago's ball, so offside flag could have gone up. Chicago showing some great passing here. Could lead to something good for them. Being patient. Ultimately, Kansas City's defensive pressure just a little bit too much and leads to the turnover. Again, I talked about this facility earlier, ESPN's Wide World of Sports, and how impressive it is for it to house an event of this magnitude. I mean, there's fields everywhere. Everywhere that I can look, there's fields and there's games being played on them actively right now. And it's all for the United States Youth Soccer Tournament. It's Kansas City on the fast break here. Kansas City, another great pass. A little bit too far, though. And a good defensive play in the penalty box. Absolutely impressive technique to remain clean on that play and not allow a penalty kick situation. But again, going back to this facility, this is the same facility that houses or hosts, I should say, the Pro Bowl games when they have their fun activities during Pro Bowl week, like dodgeball and the running back skills competition and the quarterback accuracy competition. All of that stuff is done right here on this campus. With, of course, the actual Pro Bowl game itself, the flag football game, being played at Camping World Stadium, about 30 minutes north from here. And then this is also the same campus that housed a lot of our favorite sports during the COVID-19 pandemic. The NBA bubble was housed here on this campus. This is where LeBron James led the Los Angeles Lakers to another championship, winning his fourth and Anthony Davis's first. This is the same campus that housed the MLS is Back tournament back in July and August of 2020. That tournament was ran similar to World Cup with group stages and then a knockout stage after that featured all 26 MLS teams. So, 5 years removed from that, it's crazy to think it's been 5 years since that terrible year of 2020. But to see this facility house an event like this is the farthest thing from surprising. Chicago with another chance, and that one goes off the right post. And again, that building that you can see right now behind our field, that is a baseball stadium that houses 9,500 people on game days. This campus, of course, shares land with all the Walt Disney World Resort hotels, which these players and coaches are staying at during their time here in this tournament. And also houses all the amusement parks like Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, as well as Disney Springs, which is a strip mall with restaurants, Disney-themed stores, kids' activities, and much, much more. Definitely check it out next time you're down here. So time continues to tick off the clock, and the scoring has died down significantly. We are now at this 2-2 stalemate. So Chicago creates a free kick opportunity for themselves. And what looks to be a true scoring threat here. That's a weird angle. If you wanted to go towards the net, it's a bit of a tight angle to do that. I would expect a pass or an attempted crosser sign. And here it comes. A shot towards the net, and it's way over. Chicago with a chance, immediately snuffed out. But back in their possession, shot towards goal is corralled snugly and whipped right back out of the attacking zone. Substitutions incoming for Chicago. It looks like one coming for Kansas City. A little bit too much grabbing. Shot taken towards the goal, but that's an easy play. A long pass. Almost led to something. But just unable to get a complete handle. Neither team has been creating the opportunities that they were able to create in that first half, and that has to be a lot of a testament to the halftime adjustments that these coaches make. Which one of these offenses, if any, will make the adjustment that gets their third goal on the board. Again, we've got a one-on-one situation here. Kansas City's numbers are catching up. They're now officially in the box, but that crosser is headed away. Now Chicago launching the counterattack. Crosser, and it's in! Chicago! 3-2 lead. They weathered the storm. They weathered the offensive momentum that Kansas City was able to build coming out of halftime. And they find themselves right back on top. The story of the second half has been completely different than the story of the first half. The second half has seen both teams struggle really to put any type of offense together. Unlike in the first half where Kansas City really was dominating in the time of possession and other key statistics, but they just couldn't make those breakthroughs on the board until the very end of the half. This time it was a defensive tug of war through and through for both sides, and Chicago was finally the one that finds the back of the net first. But could that light a spark in Kansas City that causes them to respond very quickly with a goal of their own? We've already seen them do that once before. Will they do it again? Chicago with a chance to double their lead. Looks like they're going to get a shot off. No! The defensive recovery, impeccable. There was an opening for about a second or half a second, but that closed very, very quickly. A free kick situation for Kansas City. Whipped in, still in a dangerous spot. Oh, it's blocked away. It's blocked away. Tremendous stand at the goal line. That was a significant opportunity for Kansas City, and they couldn't cash in. Thanks to brilliant goalkeeping and a little bit of help from his defensive backs. We got a yellow card given out. It's like for the what the referee saw as an undercut. And Kansas City is starting to run out of time. Chicago looking to kill more time. And the bench of the Chicago Fire gets a yellow card for the player standing up. So the equivalent, I guess, of unsportsmanlike conduct, they've been assessed a yellow card for that. Kansas City still with a little bit of time looking to tie this game up. It looks like they're going to have a corner kick here, so this could be their best opportunity that they have left. Well, now here comes Chicago on the counter. Goaltender has to corral this. The net is empty. Long shot, and it's in. Chicago puts their stamp on this one. In a matter of moments, they go from receiving a yellow card to putting their fourth goal on the board, and that one is going to put this game away. As they score the empty netter. What's likely the last shot for Kansas City flies over the crossbar. No need at all to rush now for Chicago. They can take their sweet time. And that'll do it. Chicago comes out with a 4-2 victory after Kansas City had them on the ropes. With time of possession, shots on goal early in this game, Chicago comes out. They get a penalty kick. They cash in on that. They score another long goal. And then Kansas City came back with a vengeance, tying the game up. Scoring one before halftime and one right after halftime. But Chicago responds with 2 straight goals to take a 4-2 victory over Kansas City Legends. Thank you for watching this presentation of the United States Youth Soccer National Championships here in 2025. We got more great games coming for the rest of the week. Thank you. See you next time.